Here are the top stories for today, April 7, 2020. President Duterte extends the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon until April 30. The Budget Department identifies 189 billion pesos in unreleased funds that can be used for the government's COVID-19 response. The DOJ assures fair and prompt action in the quarantine violation complaint against Senator Coco Pimentel. And the DOH says at least 82% of patients tested for COVID-19 turn out negative. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story for today, President Rodrigo Duterte has extended the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon to April 30th to curb the spread of COVID-19. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said the president accepted the recommendation of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases to extend the Luzon-wide quarantine until 11:59 p.m. of April 30. He said this is to determine the impact of the ECQ and further increase health capacity in Luzon and other areas. It will also ramp up COVID-19 testing to 8,000 to 10,000 tests per day with a turnaround time of 24 hours. President Rodrigo Duterte on Monday urged Filipinos to unite and pray and believe that it is only God who could immediately solve the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic. In his public address Monday night, Duterte acknowledged that God is the only one who can really solve the problem for us. He said he still prayed to God, hoping that lives would be spared and that the resources will not run out. He also acknowledged that God could decide to end the world just as easily. Last month, Duterte declared the fourth week of March 2020 as the National Week of Prayer amid the rising number of confirmed COVID-19 cases. Under Proclamation 934 signed on March 21st, Duterte asked fellow Filipinos to offer prayers in a bid to defeat this invisible enemy with the aid and blessing of God.
When the resources are all exhausted and the pandemic would claim millions of lives, I hope really and I pray that it will not. Pero kung ganon, wala na akong magawa. He created the world, planet Earth, and if God wants it ended, so be it.
The Department of Budget and Management has identified unreleased appropriations amounting to more than 189 billion pesos that may be discontinued under the 2019 and 2020 national budgets. This fund could also be used to augment the budget of the government in response against the coronavirus disease or COVID-19 pandemic. President Rodrigo Duterte said the unreleased appropriations of 189.82 billion pesos were sourced from the personal services, maintenance and other operating expenses, financial expenses, and capital outlay items under the 2019 Continuing Appropriations and 2020 General Appropriations Act. As of April 3, the DBM reported that additional cash allocations worth 5.182 billion pesos were released to the following departments to cover their COVID-19 response activities, namely the Department of Health at 600 million pesos, Department of Social Welfare and Development at 3.9 billion pesos, Department of the Interior and Local Government at 520.62 million pesos, Department of Science and Technology at 53.23 million pesos, and Department of Labor and Employment at 100 million pesos. The total of 100 billion pesos in allotments has already been released to DSWD as of April 1st to cover the funding requirements for the Social Amelioration Program. Meanwhile, a lawmaker on Monday called for a staggered lifting of the enhanced community quarantine through the implementation of localized quarantines instead. Cebu City Representative Rodrigo Abellanosa made the appeal to the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases, saying the ongoing ECQ has brought clashing issues on controlling the spread of the coronavirus disease, as well as unemployment, public health and nutrition consequences. Abellanosa proposed that food deliveries and public transportation be allowed to operate, but only within the local quarantines. He said proper authorities must persuade supermarkets, big grocery stores and food wholesalers to hire out-of-work drivers, cashiers and baggers, and to lease standby jeepneys, trucks and buses to set up mobile stores in local quarantines. He further noted that police and law enforcers must actively discourage residents from going out of their local quarantines in order to effectively contain and isolate the local quarantines from each other, except for health and medical reasons and the delivery of government aid. The Philippine National Police assured continuous monitoring of police officers who tested positive for COVID-19. And more quarantine areas will be open for COVID-19 patients. More on these and other news around the metro from Lade Cabagani.
The Ninoy Aquino Stadium inside the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex in Malate is ready to serve as quarantine area for COVID-19 asymptomatic and symptomatic patients beginning Wednesday. In his briefer on Monday, National Task Force Against COVID-19 Chief Implementer Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. said the government has converted NAS into a 120-bed quarantine area to isolate and treat COVID-19 patients. Galvez also announced that both quarantine areas of the Philippine International Convention Center and World Trade Center in Pasay City will be open this week. Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police on Monday assured continuous monitoring of police officers who tested positive for COVID-19. PNP Chief General Archie Gamboa said the number of COVID-19 cases in the police force has reached 19, with 2 deaths and 2 cases of recovery. Gamboa asked the families of PNP personnel for greater understanding of their sworn duty as he urged them to continue praying for the safety of the police frontliners enforcing quarantine measures. In other news, the CBCP is urging the faithfuls to observe Holy Week via online Visita Iglesia. CBCP Media Office Director Monsignor Pedro Quetores said the online church activity was introduced 9 years ago to cater to Filipinos overseas who are away during the annual church occasion. Considering the present situation where all liturgy and physical churches are closed, Quetores said Visita Iglesia continues to be a portal for online retreats, catechesis, and liturgical celebrations. Aside from virtually visiting churches, he said the faithful can also attend live Eucharistic celebrations. Earlier, the CBCP has launched an online platform where the faithful can request for mass intentions while the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine is still in effect. The people may submit their prayer requests for thanksgivings, petition, and for the repose of the soul at the CBCP News website. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Lade Cabagani.
Still to come, the DOJ assures fair and prompt action in the quarantine violation complaint against Senator Coco Pimentel. The Caraga region is placed under enhanced community quarantine. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Pangalagaan ng sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Hanggat maaari, umiwas sa mataong lugar. Iwasang hawakan ang ilong at bibig, maging malinis sa katawan at ugaliin ang wastong paghuhugas ng kamay. Takpan ang ilong at bibig kung uubo o babahing. Umiwas sa mga taong nagpapakita ng sintomas ng coronavirus disease gaya ng lagnat, ubo at sipon. Magsuot ng face mask kung kinakailangan. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, on Monday assured prompt action on the complaint filed by a lawyer against Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel for allegedly violating quarantine rules. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara said they had been waiting for the formal complaint to be able to act on the same. Guevara said the Justice Department will immediately schedule the preliminary investigation and assure everyone that the Justice Department will apply the law fairly and uniformly regardless of the status of the respondent. He added that the investigation is without prejudice to the separate probe that the National Bureau of Investigation has commenced. Lawyer Rico Quicho filed a letter complaint before the DOJ against Pimentel for alleged violation of Republic Act 11332, or the Mandatory Reporting of Notifiable Diseases and Health Events of Public Health Concern Act, which was signed into law last year. Pimentel breached its infection and containment protocols when he went to the hospital with his wife, who was to give birth through cesarean section. Pimentel earlier tested positive for COVID-19, and his visit unduly exposed health workers to possible infection. Caraga region is placed under the enhanced community quarantine effective Monday, April 6, as the first COVID-19 patient was confirmed in the region. On Monday, DOH 13 Director Jose Lacuna said the region's first COVID-19 case has earlier been classified as a patient under investigation. The PUI is a resident of Butuan City and is currently admitted at the Caraga Regional Hospital, or CRH, in Surigao City. Patient is said to be in stable condition. Meanwhile, the local government of Miagao in Iloilo locked down a village after a 94-year-old resident tested positive for COVID-19. The male patient has pneumonia and currently admitted to a hospital in this city. Mag-ao Mayor Macario Napulan ordered a 14-day lockdown in the village where the patient resides. To date, Miagao town has recorded 2 COVID-19 cases. The first case was a 22-year-old female who tested positive for the disease last March 27. The Diocese of Dumaguete has started distributing food packs through its task force to those affected by the enhanced community quarantine. Here is our report.
The COVID-19 Task Force of the Diocese of Dumaguete has started distributing food packs to the vulnerable and most affected sectors of the community, especially those who were economically displaced as a result of the enhanced community quarantine in Negros Oriental. Monsignor Julius Heruela, the spokesperson of the Diocesan COVID-19 Task Force, said they have also identified 3 houses ready for accommodation for frontliners. Since the creation of the task force by Bishop Julito Cortez last March 31st, the church-based groups have already distributed food packs to the different affected sectors in the diocese. Meanwhile, all beneficiaries of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program in Central Visayas have received their emergency cash subsidy in line with the national government's social amelioration program. TALG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya said that 4 peace beneficiaries from Cebu and neighboring provinces were included in the release of the SAP benefits on April 4. Under the SAP Bayanihan Fund Tulong Laban sa COVID-19, 4 peace beneficiaries get 3,650 pesos to 6,650 pesos per month for April and May, depending on the prescribed emergency subsidy per region. The Bayanihan to Heal as One Act identified 18 million Filipino families or 90 million individuals who can receive 5,000 pesos up to 8,000 pesos subsidy for 2 months. In other news, 6 evacuation centers constructed by the DPWH in Central Luzon are now being readied as temporary facilities for COVID-19 patients. The evacuation centers located in Talavera, Nueva Ecija, and Dingalan, Aurora will be utilized as quarantine facilities for the health monitoring and treatment of the persons under monitoring and patients under investigation. The facilities in Nueva Ecija and Aurora can accommodate 17 and 50 patients respectively. 4 other evacuation centers are available and ready for use in Central Luzon with 2 units each in the provinces of Pampanga and Zambales. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Lid Kabagani.
In our business news, online hotel platform Red Doors has forged a partnership with the Department of Tourism and the City Government of Manila in providing temporary free accommodation to healthcare workers. Red Doors aims to provide a place to stay and rest for the frontliners during the COVID-19 pandemic. The budget hotel chain is opening the doors of its 3 hotels in Manila located near UST Manila, Quiapo Church, and Quirino LRT station. These hotels are close to Manila hospitals such as the Gat Andres Bonifacio Memorial Medical Center in Tondo, Hospital ng Tondo, Justice Abad Santos General Hospital, Hospital ng Sampaloc, Hospital ng Maynila Medical Center, and Santa Ana Hospital. In a statement, Red Doors founder and CEO Amit Saberwal said their Red Heroes program in the Philippines, Indonesia, and Singapore helps alleviate the pressure on national government by providing free, clean, safe, and comfortable accommodations for those on the front lines. Up next, the DOH says at least 82% of patients tested for COVID-19 turn out negative. And the UP National Institute of Health assures it can produce 8,000 COVID-19 testing kits daily. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Alamin kung paano ang tamang pagsusuot ng surgical mask. Una, hawakan ang mask sa strap at siguruhing natatakpan nito ang inyong bibig at ilong. Tandaan, ang may kulay na bahagi ng mask ang dapat nasa labas. Ito lamang ang tamang paraan ng pagsuot nito. Ihulma ang nose piece o maliit na metallic strip ayon sa hugis ng inyong ilong. Iwasan ang paghawak sa inyong ilong at bibig. Kung marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap at itapon ito sa isang basurahan. Siguruhin ang maayos na paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. Ang surgical mask ay dapat gamitin ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa baga o mga taong mayroong ubo, sipon at lagnat, mga nag-aalaga sa mga may sakit, at mga healthcare at frontline workers. Maaari ring magsuot nito kung kayo ay pupunta sa matataong lugar. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP, at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP, at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang mga dapat gawin sa lugar ng trabaho laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ang mga kumpanya ay dapat magbigay ng face mask sa kanilang mga empleyado. Bukod dito, magbigay kaalaman din patungkol sa COVID-19. Siguraduhin malinis ang kapaligiran. Maglagay ng sabon at hand sanitizer sa mga palikuran. Siguraduhin ligtas at nalutong maigi ang mga pagkain sa kantina. Obserbahan ang kalusugan ng mga empleyado at katrabaho. Kung sakali man na mayroon silang sintomas ng coronavirus disease, gaya ng lagnat, ubot sipon at hirap sa paghinga, ay agad ipasuri sa doktor. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The Department of Health on Monday reported that 82.7% of coronavirus disease 2019 tests conducted turned out negative. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said the DOH conducted nearly 23,000 tests conducted with 3,404 or 16.9% turning out positive. Vergere said this is the number of COVID-19 positive individuals who were tested as of Sunday, April 5th. The number is bigger than the recorded positive cases because there were repeat tests conducted among patients who have COVID-19. Vergere said the DOH cannot conclude yet whether the number of COVID-19 cases in the country is either increasing or decreasing because the country is still in the early stages of extending its capacity on the testing of COVID-19 cases. Besides the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, there are 7 other laboratories serving as COVID-19 testing centers. 66 more laboratories are being prepared as testing centers. The UP National Institutes of Health is currently capable of producing 8,000 test kits for COVID-19 daily. Food and Drug Authority Director Eric Domingo on Monday said the UPNIH has stockpiled 26,000 test kits which have been approved for commercial use by the FDA on April 3. He added that the locally made COVID-19 test kits can also provide results in 2 to 3 hours and only costs 1,250 pesos, which is cheaper compared to imported ones which cost 6,000 pesos. Earlier, the Department of Health said it has received 140,000 donated test kits. On Sunday, DOH Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said the country has 8 laboratories that can perform 1,200 tests per day. In our foreign news, more than 50% of health workers around the world are nurses, but countries need more nurses to provide vital services throughout the health system. The World Health Organization said many nurses find themselves on the front line in the battle against COVID-19. The WHO celebrates its birthday on Tuesday, which is also observed as World Health Day, while 2020 is the International Year of the Nurse and the Midwife. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said he hopes that the world learns from COVID-19 to invest in health workers, not only to protect lives but also to protect livelihoods. Recent reports indicate 28 million nurses in 191 countries in 2018, but the current number leaves a shortfall of 5.9 million. Mary Watkins, alternate chair of Global Initiative Nursing Now, meanwhile said nursing must be seen as an investment in health in a country and that investments should lead to economic prosperity. The coronavirus disease has changed the daily life not only of humans but of pets too. Animals are showing signs of stress while their owners worry about their food as the enhanced community quarantine is still in effect. Eve, an animal rescuer based in Baguio City, worries about feeding their pets in the coming days as their personal funds are getting depleted as well. Eve and her partner houses 100 cats and 9 dogs rescued from the city streets for almost 15 years. With no leftover food available from establishments, Eve has allotted some 25 kilos of cat food, good enough for 3 days and 5 days for the dogs. Meanwhile, Figer, a pet owner, said her cat Milo lost weight during the quarantine period and has become less active. Figer also faces a problem on feeding her cat, who is used only to eating imported food. She has since come up with indoor activities for the cat to make her feel better amid the quarantine. Here's another look at today's biggest stories. President Duterte extends the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon until April 30. The Budget Department identifies 189 billion pesos in unreleased funds that can be used for the government's COVID-19 response. The DOJ assures fair and prompt action in the quarantine violation complaint against Senator Coco Pimentel. And the DOH says at least 82% of patients tested for COVID-19 turn out negative. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.